may not need any introduction at all, but before we welcome Frank Fritz, let's get to know him a little bit more in the video.
As a youngster, Frank Fritz wasn't interested in extracurricular activities. He was interested in motorbikes and collecting beer cans, stamps, and all the other staples. As Frank got older, his stepfather told him that if he wanted something, he had to work for it. Frank attended summer school every year and worked in the afternoons. By Frank's sophomore year in high school, he was making $7 an hour and was finally able to buy a 1959 Harley-Davidson Sportster. After all, according to Frank's father, you can get killed on a 350 Honda or a Harley. Frank could be seen and heard riding his Sportster to school while the other kids were being dropped off by their parents. Frank still has that 1959 Sportster today. Some years later, Frank bought a 1982 FLT Tour Glide, leaving his parents to question why he would spend $4,000 on a motorcycle but drive a $200 car. Cars didn't matter to Frank. At the age of 17, Frank moved out of his parents' home thanks to all the summer school. By the time Frank was 20, he'd already collected 4 motorcycles, all Harley-Davidsons. Frank believes there's a gene in some people that forces them to acquire or collect things. He is one of those people. Frank was always on the lookout for a great find and started at a very young age. He's interested in the history of things. At the age of 26, Frank became the youngest district coordinator for a bait in Iowa's District 15. Motorcycle rights were up in the air. Motorcycle legislation would continue for 10 more years. Facts were thrown around after a long battle and statistics went their way. I met the nicest people working with a bait, says Frank. I got into educating motorcycle riders. Frank appreciates the freedom he feels owning, working, and riding on motorcycles. For many years, Frank would ride his 1959 Sportster to the Southside grounds in Sturgis for the rally. Frank recalls making laps up and down Main Street from sunup to sundown. Now people are amazed that Frank still rides to Sturgis and camps in the same spot. He doesn't roll up in a motorhome or fly in and stay in a hotel. He does what he's done for the last 30 years. The Sturgis Rally and other large motorcycle events like the Antique Motorcycle Swap Meet in Davenport has introduced Frank to the nicest people from all around the world. Frank enjoys meeting people, taking pictures, and sharing stories. Frank says his greatest achievement as a person was always working hard, seeing what he wanted and going for it, and hanging on to lifelong friends, many of whom he still sees regularly. As a motorcyclist, Frank's greatest achievement was keeping his first bike, and to still be riding it. Many friends got Harley-Davidson tattoos and had bikes here and there, but motorcycling has never left Frank's blood. Frank tells us, I was telling some friends of mine what an honor it is to be inducted into the Sturgis Motorcycle Museum Hall of Fame, when I'm not like the other guys. I don't own a motorcycle company or brand, and I'm not a famous bike builder. I'm just a guy that loves Sturgis, loves motorcycles, and loves the rally. To be inducted into the Hall of Fame is the biggest praise I've ever received, said Frank. It means everything to me, and it's a dream come true. I've been longtime friends with several inductees, and it's truly an honor to be included alongside them. We proudly welcome Frank Fritz into the Sturgis Motorcycle Museum and Hall of Fame, Class of 2019.
Good morning, everybody. You know, it's hard for me to put into words how much this means to me to be here today. I'm so flattered and humbled just to be on the stage with all these amazing people. Notification for me for the induction to be in the Sturgis Motorcycle Hall of Fame, I became very emotional because I know this is such an honor. They told the stories there, this and that. I was in the bait in 1984. I was district coordinator 16 years. I still believe in it to today. It's starting to go down a little bit. We're trying to get those new riders in, you know, and stuff like that, but I hope we can still keep going. Enough about me. There's 3 people in this room that I'd like to talk about. One is that I've had the honor of meeting And if any of you people ever get a chance to meet a couple like I have, you're very lucky. I have known John and Jill Parham for over 30 years, and I know how much they have contributed to the motorcycle industry. I miss John. I always enjoyed going to Davenport Antique Meet every year, hanging out with John. He was always generous, always laid back, just a regular guy to everyone. John and Jill were a dynamic team who built not only a company, but a lifestyle. And John only built nothing but a lifestyle. John and Jill were a dynamic team, but like I said, they actually built a lifestyle. Now I got my one friend here, this is going to be hard to follow, and that's Ron Finch. What do you want me to say? I've known him for a number of years. He's a very talented man. We've been friends a number of years. He's very talented, and he's taught me to appreciate the artistic way of building motorcycles and a different way of looking at things. I can tell you a lot of stories, but I don't have that much time. I'm sure there are things I wish I could have said this morning from my heart, but this is an honor that I will proudly talk about for the rest of my life. And I'm thanking every single person here for coming, seeing me, inducting me into it, and just to be off the motorcycle thing real quick here. I just became single. I just became single, not my part. So I've been trying to get out there a little bit. I've been talking to girls a little bit. The other night, I was talking to this girl, and we were talking. I thought things were going good, and she said, all of a sudden, she says, "I don't want to dance." I go, "What?" And she goes, "I don't want to dance." And I go, "I didn't say do you want to dance. I said you look fat in your pants." So I don't know. Maybe I need a little brushing up. Once again, thank you every single person, and I appreciate you ever so much. Yes, it didn't work out.
Would you call me fat? All right, thank you so much, Frank. Congratulations. Now we have, I'm pretty sure he's been coming to the rally longer than I've been alive.